Smart contractors hire specialized team. Rank high on Google, hook better leads. HookAgency.com. Smart contractors hire specialized team. Rank high on Google, hook better leads. HookAgency.com.
Yo, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Tim Brown. And we are doing a pest control website audit today. And you know what's crazy? I think it's very cool. I gotta wipe this camera. We've had a few people just following along on these website audits and improving their websites and getting compliments from customers. So I love that, and I'm very excited about that. And I think the website that we're talking about today is actually pretty good from first glance. So let's get into it, and we'll do first impressions first like we normally do, and then we'll be getting into our 20-point winning website formula for both leads and SEO. All right. Just kind of looking at some other pest control websites right before this and kind of just getting some, what's the standard? And with a lot of these home service company categories, the standard actually is pretty low. And so that's why this one is particularly good on first glance in comparison with a lot of them. First kind of impressions here as we look through it. There's a little bit of it feels like we're kind of stuffing a lot down here in this footer. And I think this could be a little bit more compelling to push people towards this call now. And I've talked to the owner a little bit about this, and it sounds like this bid clips works actually pretty well for them. So even though at first glance I was like, I don't know, does seem to work. So that's the truth with a lot of things in home service website design, because you got to test things, and then you'll see things do work even when they maybe I don't know. What I would note is when I'm looking at all this looks like it's kind of a stuffed in here thing, which I would say from a persuasion standpoint is not great. There's ways to do this without putting all this on the home page and just kind of letting it sit there. Although I am happy that you have these location landing pages, and I think that that's great for SEO. I think there's a way to put those on there. We'll talk about that. Okay, I do like that it's kind of customer focused. So let's get into our winning website formula here. The first one, if you follow these a lot, is always a big call to action. What do we want them to do? Looks like what we want them to do is view packages. Wondering if this is, oh yeah, it's a slideshow. Now you see them, now you don't. So my take on package, or on, what do you call it? On a carousel, is that the stats are that it's essentially like 2% of people are going to see slide 2, and then it goes down from there. So it's almost like you should just stick with the main message. If there's anything important on slide 2 and only 2% of people are seeing it, is it worth having that? And there's another thing that happens with carousels. Maybe not informational carousels like this. Like this feels like information. This feels like promotion. And we hit a kind of ad blindness, is what we call it, ad blindness. So if it looks like an ad, which these banners kind of do, looks like advertisement versus content. What we want to do is get into the content as soon as possible in a way that kind of captures the attention. Okay, but we definitely have a big call to action right away. So you got that one. Friendly customer focus headlines. You absolutely have that. Get back to comfortable. Now you see them, now you don't. It's all about you, the customer. So this is very good in comparison with a lot of home service. 90% of home service businesses start with this headline: trusted residential. Like that's the average company is doing that. So you're doing better on that. Smiling customers. Do we have customers? So we have this. This is a smiling customer, even though I think this is, oh yeah, it is I thought it was a blog post for a second. No, this is a smiling customer, and that counts. What I might note is the ideal scenario, and this is tough to do, but the ideal scenario would be that each of these, however you do it, has the customer face, smiling face. And hey, how do you do that? How do you get customer faces on testimonials? Well, it's a little bit more manual than a widget. And what we do often is we try to make it look like a widget, but you aren't pulling it in 100%, because one thing I have seen is that there's a problem where sometimes people will pull in negative reviews on these widgets, which can, not ideal, obviously. Let's see. So smiling customers, I'm going to give you that to you for this one. And I think you could do more though. So I want to note, I think it would be good to feature another big image of a smiling customer. Maybe this one. The owner is Matt Eichmann.
My name is Matt Eichmann. I'm the owner of
I
Abracadabra.
might recommend this. If there is one video that you get people to watch on this homepage, it's a customer testimonial. That would be what I would push. Visual reviews and videos. Yep, we got that. We got this. The only thing is I'm recommending this video testimonial, and then that the featured image is a big smiling face. And maybe like if you wanted to go even further, it'd be like before pests, after clean, like behind the person's smiling face, and then like a big 5-star review or something like that. Or just a smiling customer. Smiling customer as much as possible. No stretching or distorted images. I didn't see any. Did you guys? I think that there's a chance that we got a little bit of haphazardness happening on mobile here, maybe large images. I have to check this though, if this is actually doing this on mobile, because sometimes it doesn't actually do that. So I'm going to do this. Let's see. I'm going to go on mobile while we're hanging out here. Abracadabra. Environmental. Ooh. I like how many reviews you got. Foreshadowing. Everything looks decent on mobile. The only thing that I'd highly recommend is maybe simplify these badges here. I'm hoping you guys can. I'm going to zoom in for a second. These badges, it just feels a little bit haphazard in the footer. And then the other thing that I might recommend is we're taking up a lot of space with these, right? What if you put them side by side and it was 3 across, or at least 2 across? That might be my recommendation, because otherwise, every scroll, every finger scroll, you're kind of people are less likely to continue. Can you guys, I see 10, 11 people watching, could you participate if you want? Like, what do you think about this? Would you rather have these stacked across? Is there anything else you see on mobile that you'd improve? I appreciate everyone joining. Thank you, everyone. I'd love to shout you out too if you participate. And once again, we've kind of got what I would do. I kind of mentioned that we shouldn't necessarily have all these listed here. What you could do is you could have a show hide where you more locations, and you click the button and then it opens up all the locations right there. So that would be my recommendation. And I think that there's, generally it's good on mobile though. And it looks like everything's functioning. Like how I asked people to participate and then a bunch of people left. Okay. All right, let's see. It's all good if you guys just want to hang out and watch. I'm just checking out this mobile menu. It's weird that once you click it, it turns red. That is kind of odd to me versus it's supposed to be gold normally. And then when you click it, it turns red. I don't know why. Anyways, and then it stays red. So there's just some little bit of wonkiness here on mobile that could be cleaned up. I would recommend that 60%. Say the question again. Houston says, say the question again. I guess what I was saying is, do you agree that if there's these big badges, that maybe they should be 2 or 3 across on mobile instead of taking up the full screen? So you have to scroll past these giant badges. That was the question. Do you agree, or would you have these full size? And then I would make this a button rather than just a text link. And then I would clean these up so that there's not a bunch of kind of confusing space. Maybe get rid of the white background here where it's on a gray background so it looks integrated, and basically simplify so it feels a little less messy. 60+% of the people hitting this website are going to be on mobile. So we really actually do want to get into that mobile thing and make sure these little things are right. All right, let's go to our next thing here. Houston says, yes, I agree, because you said people do not scroll to the bottom very much. Agreed, Houston. That is something I talk about a lot. That first part is the most important part of this website. And then the rest, yes, it's content. You want to imagine that like 30-20% of people might scroll right, and you want it to be good for them because they might be some of the better prospects because they're really looking into things. All right, but no stretching or distorted images. Mobile friendly, not getting distracted by too many offers. That's the next one. So let's take a look at that. Are we getting distracted by too many offers? Share screen. Boom, boom, boom. All right, we got packages. This is a homeowner. I don't know necessarily what that means, but I would probably click that, right? And then I'm kind of, I don't really know what I'm looking at here. What are these green? Oh, I don't really understand what these packages are. They look cool, but I don't really get what's an add-on? Platinum? Yeah, I don't understand this. So I would probably click through to this. I think that this offer is kind of is confusing as a homeowner. Like these badges look really nice, but I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what the costs are. I don't know what this green check mark is supposedly including. So I think maybe a little bit back to the drawing board on this comparison grid so that I know it's green for what? What does that mean? If I go to the homepage though, the offers, view packages, let's see. Not getting distracted by too many offers. This is an offer. That's the main offer. And then the request a quote now. I would probably push into request a quote now because most of the people coming to you are going to be coming to you for the first time and they don't know about packages or know what it is. I would push get a quote now onto the main section and make that the main call to action throughout. I would also have a button right here that says request a quote now. And then if I was going to go into these interior pages, yes, I don't mind ending with the phone number. I think that's great. I think I just call more attention to it, make it gold or a big purple button or something like that. And then if there was a secondary call to action, maybe request a quote now. So no, we're not getting distracted by too many offers, but I would push into the get a quote or request quote versus the packages personally. And I know that you're probably trying to sell recurring, but as a homeowner, I don't know I need recurring until you get out there and you tell me, hey, by the way, this would be much better if you didn't, if we didn't get this bad next time, right? And I'll be real. I'm a guy who does buy pest control and has a recurring pest control company. Clarity on exactly what you offer right away. Pest control, right? But it is small. I might consider having Pest Abracadabra and having pest control under the logo right here. Just like as a confirmation that that's what it is. You know, like I know it's Abracadabra Environmental, but and this is down here ways, which was kind of complimenting earlier, but clarity right away. So if this is the main slide, then great. But some of these other ones are not clear. All right. So I think there's actually some opportunity around clarity on this page. So I'm going to leave that one unchecked. Why is this company different? So the next point on our list is, why is this company different? Bullet points are featured differentiating features. Nope, we don't have that. We have a lot of awards, and that's good. But what I would do is right away answer the question of, why is this company better or different? And you can do that by calling things out with big bullet points or icons that say, hey, we'll set up a recurring service with you. Some companies don't do that. Or we can do same day quotes, or whatever your that your actual differences are to those companies around you that are doing the same thing. Hammer those with bullet points or featured images that say, this is what we do that's different. So strongly recommend pushing into differentiation here. And I'm not seeing it. I'm sure there's something in here, you know, pest control and green application options. Like, you know, there's probably something in here that you want to make your difference. But as far as like having it clear right away, it's not clear right away. And it's like actually hard. I don't see it. I see like you do pest control and that's good, but yeah. So I'm not going to give you that. Trust factors feel cleaner branded. This feels clean to me, these trust factors. The only thing I mentioned is mobile. I think they look a little large. And then these ones don't feel quite clean. I'm going to leave that one unchecked just to remind you this looks kind of messy down here, and this feels messy on mobile. Interior pages have a clear call to action at the end of the page and on the header. Yes, this is the clear call to action. The only other thing is request a quote. I think you should have that right here. So I'm going to leave that one unchecked as well, just because I believe you should have a big fat call to action right here on the header. I'm going to come back and see if anyone's hey guys, feel free to chit chat with me here too if you have any questions or recommendations besides what I'm sharing here too. So, and I'm going to try to check social just in case. Sometimes I can't see the comments. So if you are commenting and I can't see, excuse me. 1 second. Just checking to see if we got any comments. All right. Socially connected and active on social platforms. Let's check it out. February 15th, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Yep, you look like you're active here. I don't know that I would check all these platforms, but I would say I would get rid of Google Plus since that doesn't exist anymore. And do you think people need to be connecting? Like, I'm going to connect with you on LinkedIn for sure. But do you think like that's the best use of the space? The less of these social platforms that you have, probably the more likely people will be to interact with them. So something to think about. Might trim that down a little bit to like the top 3 or something. Let's see. But you are active, so that's great. 30 plus Google reviews. I know you've got almost 500 here. Abracadabra. Environmental. I know this is my thing with environmental. And I'm going to say something like I'm going to say the same for mechanical. I respect, like, as a homeowner, we don't know what these things mean. I don't know what environmental means. And as a homeowner, and I hate to say it, but I don't know what mechanical means. So to me, it's like, why not heating and cooling? Why not pest control? Like, why not just like simply, like as simple as possible? And I know there might be differences with those two things. So I guess I'm asking the question for those that are watching. If you are watching and you do know more about this than I do, I would love it if you'd interject. Houston says, how important is it to have original photos and not stock photos? That's a great question. Let me talk about that for a second. So stock photos are last resort, and you should use them to at least get more like happy homeowners interact. Like if you can't get pictures of customers for reviews, or you can't get a bunch of original photos, I would recommend doing some stock photos of happy customers and like kind of just putting that in there. But it is not ideal. I think that you should try to get some original photos and try to get more original photos and a video testimonial this year. That would be highly recommended. Houston also says, how important is it to have a LinkedIn account? Hey, that really depends on your business and where your ideal customer is spending their time. I think this is how I think of marketing is I try to understand my customer as deeply as I can. Who is it? And as specific as possible. For me, it's a 35 to 45-year-old man who owns a, $6 million roofing or HVAC company, who is in growth mode and is family friendly and who wants to have better services and is growing his business. He's not going for the cheapest thing. He's trying to grow his business. And so that's my ideal customer. My ideal customer happens to be on Facebook more than LinkedIn. And you need to make that decision about yours. So let's say it's a 48-year-old female who works, but also has a husband who works, and she's home a little bit more than him, and she has 2 kids, and she's in the whatever region, and you kind of figure out, where does that person hang out? You talk to them every time you're selling with them, or your people are selling with them, and you understand, hey, where are you spending time? Oh, you're on Instagram? Cool. Like understanding what your ideal customer is doing and trying to be like almost assimilating with them and to really try to get obsessive about understanding their problems. That is the root of the best marketing. And so if your customer is not on LinkedIn, don't worry about it. And if your customer, my customer is not spending as much time on Twitter. If I had to guess, they have a burner account. But they're sitting there just kind of observing more than tweeting. So I'm just going to Facebook because that's where they're hanging out and that's where they're actually posting and that's where they're participating in Facebook groups. So you have to make that decision. You have to find them and keep experimenting with it until you figure out what's getting the most. That would be my strong recommendation there. All right, we got their Abracadabra Environmental. I know, let's see, we've got, pull this up. At the stage. Environmental services. So we got 499. I'm going to just put in the city mound. You get the city here. Look at all those beautiful reviews. Love it. Let's see. We got posts on there. We've got the profiles connected. You've got categories and products. I love it. You guys are doing a great job here. It's fully filled out. So I'm going to give you these two. Upward graph on traffic and keywords. Now we're going to get into the SEO side of this. Bear with me. I'm only going to do nerd stuff for a little bit, unless you guys tell me you like the nerd stuff. I personally love nerd stuff. Privacy of my own home. But welcome into the privacy of my home, I guess. All right. We are looking at, I'm going to look at this overview. Look at that upward graph. That is nice. That is what you want to see, folks. 1 year ago, they had 462 on this, and now they have 10 times as much. How good is that? They used to have 2,500 keywords. Now they have 4,400. So like almost double the amount of keywords. This traffic value means what they would get from Google if they were paying for what they're getting for free. So they're getting $5,500 worth of free traffic. Free, I say free because obviously they're doing work and probably spending money on SEO, but bat in the house, mice in the refrigerator, mice exterminator, Minneapolis, they're number 6 for mice exterminator, squirrel catcher, pest control, Minnetonka. If you're not in Minnesota, Minnetonka is a lucrative area with high-end homeowners. So you're doing really great things right here. I just want to give absolute props to your current marketing company that are trying and doing great things. And that's the stuff that matters the most, that we're getting this upward graph going. 5 links. Let's take a look at our links here. Best links. Look at that. Potomac Pest Control or Potomac? Potomac. You got a guest post, or it looks like you're on somebody's podcast. That's a great strategy. If you guys are getting a little bit more advanced with link building, getting on podcasts is a way to get more links. So it looks like you were on Potomac Pest Control's podcast, and now you got this link back to your website, and that's beautiful. You got Wayzata Chamber of Commerce. A Chamber of Commerce is a great way to get a link. Join the Chamber of Commerce. And a golf classic, Wayzata Chamber. So being sponsoring a golf event. And I'm not sure exactly where this one has come from. Probably from your blog. So it's a link to your blog. And then, yeah, so there's some good links here. And I just want to say good job on that and good job on being on podcast. Push into podcast. Push into local events and Chamber of Commerce type stuff. Content going out on a regular basis. It looks like we had content. We got February 6th, January 30th, 23rd. Man, I want to blog on here. This looks fun. And what a great, I just got to say, great job. Maybe, this isn't all just SEO blogging, but you know what's cool? This is such good stuff for your referrals. Look at this example that Matt and his company is doing. Great example of just creating referral partnerships and helping them, making content with them and making them want to refer you. That's what I like about this. So good job on that. Good job on the content going on a regular basis. The next one is location landing pages for services, and we saw these on the front page. So these are great examples. You do want the location pages on the front page. Or excuse me, you want location pages throughout the site. I might have done it a little bit differently on the homepage, but I like the fact that, is this your old logo? Interesting. Okay, so we do have this old logo in this one spot. I like how much better your current logo is though than that old logo. All right. Location pages, we got that. We got 500 plus words for each of the key service pages. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think that's about 500 words. That's good. Just going to make sure that that's the case with different landing pages. There was 500 plus words on the, oh, I think that there is opportunity here to increase the content on this page if you're really trying to rank for commercial pest control. So yeah, I just kind of like take a look at those pages. And other than that, it looks like a lot of these have it. So I'm going to give it to you. Interlinking to the different services throughout the site. I like this. You're linking to the locations on the service page. How about on the location pages? Are you linking to the different services? Okay, not really. What about, are we linking from these to the service pages? All right, so just kind of noting that this is an opportunity to also improve from linking to the different service pages and different pages throughout the site to link to the other pages. And my strongest recommendation on that would be to take the pages that you know are ranking really, really well and try to link to the pages that you want to rank really well. So you're kind of spreading the love, so to speak, on your website with internal linking. And internal linking, I talk a lot about link building, and check out our other series, our DIY SEO. We have a whole YouTube playlist, DIY SEO for home services, show you exactly what we do. We talk about link building a lot, but internal link building is very important too. So like I said, find those pages that you're getting a lot of traffic to, and then link to the pages that you want to rank. All right, so final drum roll here. What do we get? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 missing. So we got a 75%, which is really good. It's above average. And just getting clarity on exactly what you offer right away. Why is the company different? Cleaning up some of those trust factors, getting a clear call to action in the header. I want you to push request a quote more and just make it really dead obvious for anyone that comes to the site, and then interlinking throughout the site for SEO. But very good job, and very probably like 4 or 5 times the average as far as traffic and SEO goes, which that's going to matter the most out of a lot of this stuff. Do we have people on this website? It's hard to get people on your website. Have you guys noticed that? It's a lot of work. Max says, depends on your industry. LinkedIn is for B2B. If you're trying to get corporations, LinkedIn is useful. I would say also, because we had this question of how important is it to have a LinkedIn account. My thing with that is just if you're going after commercial stuff. So Matt Eichmann, for instance, if he has commercial, it's kind of a commercial intent. The intent is people are on there. B2B stuff is more prevalent. So that's where I would push a little bit more for the commercial side of his business. And obviously recruiting, because we all need to get better and better employees depending on what, where your ideal ideal employee is. All right, y'all. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I hope that you have a great one. I'm going to play a little our client's experience before we're out. See you guys.
Day one, it was just shockingly different.
They did such a great job.
Extremely happy.
I have a salesperson that works 24/7.
We've worked with a lot of different agencies over the years, and I think we found, just like most people in this room probably, that they're extremely frustrating, really annoying. Tim and his company is just light years apart from anybody we've ever experienced.
Smart contractors hire specialized team. Rank high on Google, hook better leads. Hook agency.com.